Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to Easter Road. Not too cold yet, but I'm sure it'll get there myself. I'm Chris Jack, live ahead of Rangers against Hibs. Rangers first league game back since the winter break. Their second game back in competitive action, having played Dumbarton. Slightly better conditions for Chris this time.
Slightly different. We do have a Wi-Fi signal. We do have power. We've got a seat. We've got a desk. We're all good and we're all set to go. So hopefully no video interruptions this time around.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have more. I'm going to read you the Rangers team while I upload it. It's Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Balogun, Ridvan, Lundstrom, Raskin, Cantwell, McCausland, Matondo, and Silva. Chris, let's start at the top end. You predicted Silva. I predicted Silva. Derek predicted Desser, so he's wrong. I thought he would play because there's been a real narrative for him that he's not a number 9. And listen, we'll learn pretty quickly because the pressure's going to be on. But this guy's been brought in to play games. He has played as number 9 throughout a lot of his career. Yes, the pressure's going to be on him to score goals, but I vote with faith in Philippe Clement to put him in right from the start.
Can we take a minute to celebrate the fact that I got 11 out of 11
on the
team
pitch?
In the month since I joined the team, I think it's the first time I've ever had the full team. So I'm glad the manager checked the website this morning before he picked his side. I think, as you say, Silva has been brought in for a reason. It was a big statement of intent signing early on. If you're then not going to play him in a game, first of the games in hand, obviously, a game that Rangers have to win.
Yeah.
Shape the narrative over the next few weeks. If you're not going to play him tonight, then it's almost what's the point in being here? Rangers, we know they've had issues in the final third. Obviously, Roof and Danilo have been out injured. Arabi's got an opinion on Dessers. The manager kind of defended him yesterday, saying, "No, look at the stats, look at the numbers that he's produced," and I think that's right. But Silva's here for a reason. Silva's a 33 million pound player not that long ago. If you can't start him tonight, it is a case of what's the point in being here. So I'm not surprised he's got the nod.
And listen, if we come on this video, Chris, if we come on this video, whatever time the game ends, I don't know, 10 o'clock, and he's had a bad game, I'm sure everyone will tell us we've been wrong. But we've not really seen him yet. And you can say, I see a couple of comments coming in saying, he's maybe not got this, he's not got that. Which, in my opinion, we don't know because we've not seen him in competitive football. Let's talk as well about Ravi Matondo, who plays off the left now. Fabio Silva played off the left at PSV, but I think it was different because he was playing the left of a 4-3-3. Here, as we've seen with Abdallah Sima, a lot of the task when you're playing on the left is to track back. A lot of the task is to cover. I don't think that's where you want him. I think you want him at the top end of the pitch. So I'm not. If he does play off the left, I think there'll be a slight change in shape at points. Big night for Ravi Matondo. I feel like you've said that a lot. I thought it was a difficult pitch for a winger against Dumbarton. Listen, I think he's shown qualities this season in flashes. The injury kind of derailed him because I thought he was one of Rangers' brightest players when there wasn't many, admittedly, before that point. But these are the type of games, I think, Chris, and we've said it for a few weeks now in a row, where you need to do it kind of routinely, week in, week out, and do what Abdallah Sima has done, which is score goals and contribute. When you're not doing that, have a good all-round performance that still makes an impact on that left-hand side. But a big one for him tonight.
In terms of shoes to fill, they don't really come much bigger. I think the only other one would be if Robbie McCrory got the nod ahead of Jack Butland in terms of having a role to come into the team and fill. There's other guys in the squad that can come in and do jobs, but having to replace Sima, as you said, it's a huge task for Matondo. Not completely convinced that he's up to it. I think Sima's a far better player. He's got more to his game. But then we saw Matondo, a real composed finish in the game at Ibrox against Copenhagen, which came after he tried to tip the keeper and almost hit the corner flag with it. And those moments almost sum up Ravi Matondo's Rangers career. There's things there you think this boy's got something. There's moments where he contributes. There's moments that he plays nice passes and he beats a man, puts a cross in, he scores goals at times. He's going to get a run in the side until Rangers either decide to bring another wide man in. Which I think they probably will do, also depending on the length of time that Seamus gave out. We'll find out that post-match when we speak to the manager. But I think Matondo, whether Rangers bring somebody else in on that side or not, he's going to have to play a part. Because even if they do sign someone next 9 days or so, they can't play every single game. So Matondo is going to be required. He has to contribute more regularly than he has done. As you say, there'd be no better way for him to kickstart his second half of the season and try and win more people around. I think he's still got quite a lot of people to win over.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But what you would say about Clement is, and Dessers is a prime example, he has got the best out of players so far. He has got the best out of the options that he's had at his disposal. And now we guess he's had time to work with Matondo. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens there, because this is his opportunity. He's been here 18 months. You need to really seize your opportunity. And as I say, I think at moments at the start of the season, he did that. The injury kind of derailed him, and it felt like he was back at the start again when he came back. So we will see what happens there. That aside, no real surprises. Nico Raskin comes back into midfield. His first league start since the last game against Hibs. He obviously got injured in the game after against Hearts. No Connor Goldson. If we've learned anything in the last couple of years, is that Rangers tend to look a lot worse without Connor Goldson at the back. In my opinion, he's not faultless, but I think he definitely improves that defence. John Souttar had a really good game here at the end of last season when Rangers won 3-1. Now in a game that didn't mean that much. But when Goldson has been taken out of that defence this season, I don't think it's always looked great. I think it was wasn't the Kilmarnock, it was a Dundee game recently at home, where there was quite a few mix-ups. So I guess that's an area as well which Hibs will have their eye on. And let's not forget, we'll read the Hibs team out in a moment, but I think they'll go for it tonight. I think we saw that in the game at Ibrox. I think they'll be aggressive, play with 2 strikers, 2 wingers. So it's going to be a big onus on those 2 central defenders to have a good game tonight as well.
The manager said pre-match yesterday in his press conference, and just because we beat Hibs comfortably in the first game, don't assume it's going to be the same second time around. It's obviously not Ibrox this time to begin with, but Hibs do have, as you say, they've got pace, they've got width, they've got players who can hurt Rangers. I think it's a big night for Rangers defensively in terms of set pieces, because that's been an area of fragility over the last couple of weeks. I know it's something that the fans have picked up on. As pleasing as it was to see Rangers score from a corner the other night there,
and
there's definitely areas of improvement in that defensive shape, and Goldson certainly improves that. He's one of these guys who bizarrely still seems to split some opinion amongst the fans. I don't think people really appreciate him until he's not there. It's not the kind of night where you'd want to be without him. If it had been a Dundee at home, or it had been a Killie at home, with all
we saw against Dundee at home. It wasn't great either.
Rangers also managed to get through that day with just about not much damage done, but it's not the type of night you'd want to be without Connor Goldson. But Rangers are big night for John Souttar coming back in, so fingers crossed he can live up to the task.
Hibs, let's get to the Hibs team. They're missing quite a lot of players. I've got in front of me Martin Boyle, obviously one of their kind of standout players, Rocky Bashiri, Lewis Miller, all the way in international duty, Chris Cadden, Josh Campbell, Jake Doyle-Hayes, Adam Lafondra injured. Made a couple of interesting signings in the last few days, Hibs, one of which comes into the starting 11. They go Marshall, Fish, Levitt, Yuan, Vente, Newell, Stevenson. I think it's pronounced Mizani, so I hope I got that right. He's one of the new signings that's just come into the club. Obita, Jair and Megwa. We've seen since Hibs have had that managerial change that they do want to play it from the back. They've got quite a definable style to them. I think I think you'll see Vente drop in quite a lot and try and take the ball. I think they'll go for it tonight, Chris. It depends if that suits Rangers, because in these games over the last number of years it's tended to suit Rangers a little bit better when the game is more open, but this is their first home game back after the winter break as well. I'm sure it'll be an expected crowd, and Rangers will have to combat that atmosphere.
Very much so. I think I'd be amazed if Hibs decide not to come have a go at Rangers. They have been notoriously slow starters after winter breaks over the last couple of seasons.
It's true.
I'm sure Hibs will be looking to try and exploit that. I know we've also had a couple of games we can't really take much from Dumbarton. It was just minutes in the legs for some of the players coming back. But I think there's definitely an expectation here that Hibs come and are poised to be on the front foot. It's an attacking side. I think Montgomery's picked, as I've said, full backs need to be on it with the pace and the thickness they've got wide. That unfamiliar-ish defensive partnership. But if you're Rangers, you have to be looking to come here and go and cause problems of your own. It's not a case of we'll sit back and we'll soak it up. Rangers have more than enough quality middle to front to go and hurt Hibs in their own right. So you're then looking at likes of Raskin and Lundstrom, give them that base in the middle of the pitch. And it's then give the ball to Cantwell. We need a big night performance of Todd Cantwell. Give the ball to Silva. Let's see what he can do. So I think that it could be an entertaining game. If it ends up 0-0, I'll be surprised. If it does, don't come back and shout at me later on.
Yeah. Let's talk about Todd Cantwell. He signed for Rangers a year ago yesterday, and I kind of feel like over the last couple of months, it's a difference between people getting excited about a player and then them really moving on and needing. I think the typical thing is you need an old firm performance. You need a cup final winner. It's just part of expectation of this club. He's in a position, Chris, where I think people are starting to expect a little bit more. I think I've been one of his great defenders, but he didn't have a good Old Firm game, and that obviously will upset people naturally. He's now playing in his favourite number 10 position again. He's had that winter training camp. He's a player that Rangers need to step up now over this break, because for all the talk of Rangers being back in the title race and Clement having done a really good job so far, which he has, one win kills momentum, and they need the big players to step up tonight, don't they?
Momentum's going to be huge for Rangers over this next few while. As mentioned earlier on, they have been notoriously slow at winter breaks. Rangers fans are now just praying that that's not a pattern that's going to repeat itself once again. I don't think it'll be if there's any stumbles in the next few weeks, it's not going to be a complacency from the manager. He's certainly not going to allow that to be printed as a road. MD that thinks that the job is done and they can close through the second half of the season and go and pick up the silverware, it won't be slow in coming forward and telling them. So, but that then relies on your big players to hammer home those messages. And you're relying on your big players to turn up and perform. Now, we know what Tavernier will do. We know what we think they can get from Silva. We know, like John Lundstrom been excellent under the manager so far. We need him to kick on second half of the season. Cantwell, for all the talk at the start of the season over his best position, playing out of position, there's no excuses for him now. Obviously, Sam Lammers is no longer here. He's the first choice in that number 10. He's got that role all but to himself, going by the makeup of the squad at present, certainly until Rangers bring in another attacking option. So everything is there for Todd to go and win games, to go and be influential, to go and inspire Rangers and drive Rangers on. If he does, hero status awaits, and he'll deserve all the adulation that comes with it. If he doesn't, I think people win, and then we'll start to ask questions.
Life at Rangers, but equally, I think this is a type of game you probably also would quite like after the winter break, because it's not a dull home game where you're expected to win. There's a bit riding on it. There'll be a big away following here, the full stands, a good atmosphere, and interested to see how Rangers respond. Just before we round up, Chris, the subs bench: McCrory, Jack, Dessers, Lawrence, Sterling, Wright, Barisic, King, Devine. Couple of questions coming in about a certain Mohamed Diomande. We're led to believe that is going to be announced imminently. Obviously, you reported, I think, on Monday it was. I've
lost all track of the days. I've got no idea what day it is.
Weather conditions held it up. But expected to go over the line soon. And I think we spoke about it on the podcast. It's a lot of money to spend at any time for Rangers, but clearly this looks, as I guess Silva was in a different way, but this is rubber stamped a type of signing that I think Rangers would have hoped Niels Kaufman would get over the line. And yes, you're spending a bit more money, but players are good, they're going to cost money, isn't it?
Ultimately,
that's how transfers work.
If you want nice things in life, you have to pay for them. That includes 22-year-old midfielders.
Yeah. But listen, I think some people have said, why spend that money if you need a striker? I think Rangers need a lot of players. I think Rangers need to fill a lot of positions.
It's only a fortnight since we were playing a right back in this centre midfield in an Old Firm game. And that area, if you look at everyone's fit, numbers-wise, perhaps it's not exactly a priority right now. People say, we need a striker. But over the course of the Clement era, Rangers will have to strengthen the midfield.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it and you can get a deal done early, then why not do it early? Rangers couldn't have had him on a list and had him scouted, had him watched, put the deal together and then said, well, actually, we need a striker, we're not going to bother. Because 6 months down the line, he's then not there and you're missed out. If you can get good players in the building, you have to get them in the building. The more good players the manager has, naturally the better the team is going to be, or he hopes so anyway. So I don't really understand the negativity towards it. I know everybody wants a striker. I know everybody wants further reinforcements and goals. I think we all do. We all acknowledge that that's going to be a priority for Rangers over what's left of this window. But if the chance comes up to sign somebody with his profile at his age, I think at that price, I know it's a lot of money, but I think it's in the next couple of seasons, it could prove to be a really should bit of business for Rangers if they can progress him, if they can sell him on. That's something the manager addressed his press conference last week. So Rangers have to move towards this model. The chairman has spoken about it. We've all spoken about the transfer model. The transfer model relies on signing players that fit a certain profile. Diomande fits that profile.
Yeah, exactly. Some comments saying, is that Stevie in the background? I don't think he's there anymore, but he was. He'll be with us after the game. I don't think he was watching us in the row behind, but on the YouTube, but you never know. And just finally on the bench, Chris, thank you. Looks a little bit stronger, still not an abundance of game changers in there. Tom Lawrence, obviously, he said over the winter break that he's sick of talking about his injury, and I think everyone would like him to just get back playing. Hopefully that's the case. Scott Wright obviously scored off the bench at the weekend. Dujon Sterling, I'm excited to see what he does in the second half of the season. I think he will play in midfield a little bit more, and then Cyril Dessers, who could well come off and score, could come on and miss a couple of chances. We don't know. Big night for Rangers. Need to go and get the 3 points and then move on to the weekends. You could say that every single game, but it's certainly the case after the winter break when there's been so much expectation about this game.
As you said earlier on, this game, it feels like a big game. It's not just your normal run of the mill. I know Dumbarton was a big game in terms of the Scottish Cup, but people expected Rangers to go down there, win fairly comfortably, and that's what happened. Nobody's really going to get overly excited about a win over Dumbarton at this stage.
Yeah.
A win tonight would just kick things on again. It would increase the enthusiasm levels, it would increase the excitement levels, it would build a bit of momentum amongst the fan base, the squad, bring everybody a bit closer together. So no, I don't think we can underestimate just how important it is for Rangers. That's not to say if it goes badly, then the whole thing's a complete write-off. But it's just that it's a chance for Rangers just to really kind of build on some of the positives that we've seen over the first couple of months of the manager.
Winning football games makes life a lot easier, not least at Rangers. Right, you can stay up to date with us on our socials. We'll have our instant analysis breaking down the big talking points in the game. Myself and Stevie will be live after the press conference, which you'll be able to watch, you'll be able to read. We'll have the SEMA news, anything else that comes out from the game. If you're watching and you've not subscribed, hit the link in the description of this video. Subscribe, support our work, and get access to the best Rangers journalism around every single day of the week. Until then, myself and Chris are away to watch the game. Enjoy it wherever you are, and we'll speak to you after full time. Bye for now.